Oh, there we go. Sorry, we had a little bit of technical difficulties first thing this morning. Uh, my cat likes to climb on my desk a lot. Let me turn that light down. Man, what a glare we're getting. Welcome to Coffee Old School, sponsored by Coffee, brought to you by Old School. Today, I want to come on because I did a podcast a couple days ago, and as I always say in my podcast, if you don't like what I say, have the balls to reach out. And my PMs are always open, and so what's going on, Tommy Ford? So that happened. Somebody reached out. We had a discussion. Was it heated at the beginning? Sure the fuck was. Because listen, I ain't no bitch. I don't back down. And he wasn't a bitch. He didn't back down. So we had a mutual discussion of some things. At the end of the day, it kind of I don't want to say I learned something. Let's not say it that way because I'm the school of old and well, I'm just an asshole. I do look at it a little different now that a little different of how skeptical I am about certain things. But stupid microphone. But I'm not going to change my opinion much on a couple things. I'll say this: I was told that guys like myself, and even the guy that was speaking to me, and I'm not going to mention his name, because it's just not that's not relevant to what I'm doing here today. My biggest problem with the whole situation is I don't like the new era of promo. Okay, I don't like the adaptation that they're adding. Sorry, my dog's an idiot. Storylines and kayfabe. I just don't like it. Um, while I don't like it, sorry guys, got to get situated here. While I don't like it, I don't enjoy it. There's many that do. Evidently, there's many groups that have changed and modified their groups to do it that way. And I get it. Hey, if that's what you guys got to do to make it fun for y'all, that's cool. But don't come at me and expect me to change the way I do things. Don't come at me and expect me to go, oh man, maybe I should start doing that too. Because I've never been a follower. I've never been a guy who will go out there and go, oh, Bob's wearing purple all day. I need to start wearing purple. I've always been a man in my own, path. I'll do what I want to do. Um, and don't get me wrong. There's a lot of promo artists out there that are pretty damn good. I just think they'd be so much better and competitive. I think it would be fun to see if they could go, with some of the top guys that like to compete. But some don't like that. And here's another thing that I found out, after that discussion. I think it's an easier schedule for some of these guys. All right. They know that their match is on, I don't know, the 30th. They know they've got to do 2 or 3 hypes. And then when that's done, they already know, the way it's going to go. They know the story and where it's going. I'm not much on that, and I never have been. I like the factor of who can out hype who can deliver a better product, who can be just fucking off the wall, bang them and kick their ass. That's what I've always loved. That's what I'm about. That's what promo. That's all these belts that I've won have never been in no kayfabe groups, and I just never. Hell, I remember one group I was in. It took me a little bit to get used to that because it was all fan vote. Tommy, I know you remember Heels. We went and promoed there, and it was like, okay, the match is done. Now the fans are going to vote, and you're like, okay, so when do the judges? Well, the fans were the judges. You'll find out that that's kind of parallel too, because people have friends. You know what I'm saying? People have a lot of friends. So when I promote, I'd have 31 likes or for the wins or however they did it before the match was even over. And that was my friends, my brothers. They were all voting for me because they were like, yeah, we love your product, blah, 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 blah. But maybe the other guy did have a better product. I don't know. Would never know because it's all fan done. So, you can come out here and say that, old heads like me, maybe even Tommy, we don't want to change, and we don't. I don't want the competitive nature gone. I don't want it predetermined for me. I don't want a title put on me because it looks good for somebody to go against old school. You know what I mean? Something like that. And I'm not knocking the feds for doing that. That's their business. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to come out here and understand just a little more and be a little more, I ain't going to say compassionate because I have no compassion for anybody in this world of promo because you chose to be here. It's a game of wits. It's a game of wordplay. And disclaimer, Coffee with Old School has always been a heel podcast. It's never been, here to butter people up or kiss their ass. I've just never done that. I've got a lot of people I love in this business, this game, whatever the fuck you want to call it today. It's kind of a business for me because I've invested a ton of fucking money into belts and time and shit like that. Why some of these groups, they don't understand that because I see some people walk on screen with a WWE belt. Listen, guys, that's something that does get in my crawl. If you're in a group and they're like, we have physical belts, okay, you expect to be a champion, or you expect to win a belt eventually, then you get to hold their belt. But if you go to a group and they're like, nah, man, we ain't got no physical titles, we're just going to have you, run with what you brung. Man, I would find an unlogoed championship because it looks really horrible when you walk on screen with a WWE title or the AEW World title or, even, you could do some old Ring of Honor shit. Some of their old belts were pretty cool, but I'm sorry. I do not like seeing people walk around with WWE titles or any other, real wrestling federation titles. I learned something in the pro wrestling world the other day when I worked my event and made my return after 3 years. These guys, they watch a lot of these promo groups and they find it pretty wild. They want to understand it. So I'm getting ready to, add a bunch of the wrestlers into PPF and let them start dropping some promos. We'll see how that goes. Because they kind of feel like it's a great way for them to learn. It's a great way for them to get into the promo aspect. Because, they see some of the stuff that's being done. And I'll say this too. I've always hated it and I'll keep hating it. And you guys can hate me for saying it. I hate a fucking green screen. Here's the reason why. You guys have belts on your shoulders or you're standing there and you disappear into the fucking screen and you come back out. It's like, is he a magician? Did he just disappear? It's not necessary. Walk outside for 5 minutes while you cut your fucking promo. You know what I mean? Or go to a different room in your house. And please, stop fucking promoing on your bed. I don't want to see your nasty ass, crusty fucking bed. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I have to say that. And nobody has to like me for that neither. But it's gross. Like, and here's another one. I know it's the promo world and we don't meet each other in person and you're not next to the person. Hygiene's very important, people. Very important. I'll say I would not want a champion to walk on screen looking dirty or grimy. I just wouldn't because let's go back and look in the 80s, 90s, and even the 2000s. How many motherfucking wrestlers walked on screen dirty, grimy, and looked like they just got out of fucking bed? Other than Eugene, Jesus Christ, and we know what character he was portraying. So I learned yesterday that it was a great vent session. I'll say that. It felt good that we hashed a lot of things out that this gentleman felt that I was purely just bashing. And I in some accounts I might have been, but I don't think in all accounts I am. I'm just a very honest individual. I watch promos daily. And I went and, I see some promos and I know it's predetermined, but some of these guys need a lot of work. And they'll walk around and claim to be greats and they'll claim to be legends. And that's a word that shouldn't be thrown around lightly. I'm sorry. That's disrespectful to the guy I was talking to, myself, and all the ones that laid the groundwork of what we do. I just don't think it should be done. I don't think that it's fair that somebody walks on here that's been doing it for 2 years, maybe a year, and says, I'm one of the greatest of all time. I'm a legend. And I understand it might be your character, bud. But unfortunately, the character does not map out with the career. Okay. And I'm not going to mention that guy's name either because I've been told I bash people personally way too much. But, hey, listen, brush your hair, trim that nappy beard, put on a pair of sunglasses, might look a little better on screen. Just saying, just being real. I truly love watching promos. I truly love seeing the characters that people bring out. Cody Bentley just brought back his character where he would paint his face, and that cat, if you ain't never seen Cody Bentley, you're missing out. One of the greatest of all time. And I say that with all my chest because that guy deserves to be called one of the greatest of all time. I love his work. Him and Thomas Vetch, who plays Kurt Adams, are pure hardcore champion right now. Those two just threw down a hell of a match. And it's going to be even better because this month it's a triple threat for that title. We add in the gunslinger Tommy Ford, who was owed a title shot. It's going to be a fucking outstanding fucking matchup. The judges, I have spoke to them. There will be a winner on that one. We're going to make sure of that. And that's the other thing. I'm a little different because I have had the same judges for 6 years in Premier Promo Federation. We have not gone off the air. We have not stopped. We've not took a break. Now the guy I talked to says they run so many months and they take a month off or whatever. And hey, I love that shit. That's cool. Give your promo artists a break. My guys never want to break. They want to continue to go, and I love it. And I've kind of handed the reins over to my son and let him run the Premier Promo Federation. He's done a great job in booking. He's done a great job keeping the promo artists active, and he's also done a great job of getting rid of the ones that aren't. The ones that just want to be there and sit dormant and watch and listen and intake information, he's gotten rid of them. He has eliminated that issue, and I'm grateful for him for putting in the time and the effort and getting it done. Will Coffee the Old School be a little different now? It may be. I mean, the shows are going to lighten up anyway because I've got so much going on in real life. I don't really have time to come in here and sit for a half an hour or whatever. That's why some of my shows are very, very short. I do them in between some other stuff I'm doing. But I'll say this: I'll give the new era a chance to impress. I'll say that. And while there's some people out there that don't like me, I told the guy yesterday with my whole chest, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if they like me. I don't give a fuck if they like my opinion, because I've had some of those people message me and threaten to come to my house. And when I sent them the address, they bitched out and stayed home. And I'll keep that right there because I'm not one to back down. I never have been. I grew up in a different world than a lot of you have. Trust me. I was out on my own at 14. Okay. I didn't live in my mom's house and my mom cooked my meals. I took care of my fucking self. So, that's just the difference in us to a certain platform. But I'm going to try to be a little more open-minded with some of these people. I still don't think Johnny Canada is a good promo artist. I'm sorry. And I know people are like, oh, well, he's put in some great work, or at least he showed up and put in the work and stuff. And I get that. You want to give the guy a rub. That's cool. But when other promo artists watch the product and they go, ooh, that's an issue. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. It's an issue. And that's not just me. I'm not the only one sitting here going, wow, that guy's horrible. There's guys and girls from that group that are in my DMs talking about, shoot, did you see that guy? He is fucking horrible. And it's their own group where they're like, that's their mainstay. And they're just like, it's horrible. But when somebody like that calls somebody horrible, are they good too? We don't know. You know what I mean? We can't honestly say, okay, that person is great too. I guess it's all in how people decipher things these days. Me, I tend to think that there's just a level that you need to reach or be on to actually be a champion, and that's not me being an asshole, not me being a dick. Let's go back and look at the past. When somebody won the title, and you looked at him and you went, "Holy shit!" When I saw Brett Jacobs as the BTB World Champion, I saw a fucking monster. I saw a top guy that it was going to take somebody magnificent to beat, that was going to have to do the promo of their lifetime to beat him to take said championship. Okay. Some of the champions I see today, I'm sorry, man. I feel like a tumbleweed could roll down the road and defeat them. Okay. And a lot of people, including the one I spoke to yesterday, I don't think they care that I target Rig or Quack, but let's be honest. Rig wants to come out here and act all fucking noble and like he's some kind of fucking god in this game. And I'll be honest with you, man. He was always the Marty Jannetty of that team. I just thought Heathen carried a better promo than he did. I thought Heathen was just a better promo artist than he was. And I kind of believe it's true because Heathen went on to win a bunch of singles titles by himself when that guy was gone. And then unfortunately wrapped himself right back up in that web. So that's sad for Heathen because I think the guy was a stellar promo artist. And now, he's in the web of the Rigs and the Quacks again. And, a lot of people don't want to deal with that. Quack will forever be the guy that I just can't fucking stand. But Rig to me is the epitome of what is wrong in the locker rooms today. Okay. And I'm not the only one that believes any of that because if you went over to VOH's locker room and asked their opinion right now, it's a much better place that he's gone because he didn't know how to not stay in character. Okay. There's a time to be in character. There's a time to be out of character. And 90% of the time in the locker room, we try to stay out of character, but you just don't know. It could be one of those situations where, maybe him and the person he's talked to were doing an in character in the locker room. I can't stand it. Like, stay out of character in the locker room. But after the conversation yesterday, it really enlightened a little bit, of what I've said and done. And listen, if you thought I was coming on here to go, I'm sorry, I don't do that. I don't apologize for anything I've ever done. I own up to it. And I own up to the fact that I'm pretty hard on the promo realm. To be hard on mostly a lot of the promo realm because I don't like it. I don't think it's competitive. I don't think it's, here's going to be the one that's going to hurt some people's feelings. I think a lot of it is not entertaining. Is that mean to say? Probably. I don't find it entertaining when I can watch this match and I'm sitting here, watching on my computer or on my TV or whatever on my phone, and I go, holy shit, this dude's promo is fucking badass. And he loses because, well, that's not the story. Get where I'm going with that? It just don't make sense to me. It don't feed well to me either. If I watch a gunslinger take on, we'll use Johnny Canada. I can sit here and tell you with every ounce of my being, Tommy Ford is going to fillet that motherfucker like a fish. But what do we get? We get oh my God, Johnny put in the work. He's a champion. I just don't like that. And you guys notice, that's Doc. He makes an appearance on my podcast every once in a while because he don't know how to shut up and he just keeps barking. But I was almost done the podcast anyway. I just want to come on and tell the gentleman I spoke to. Hopefully somebody shares it to him because evidently you do be sharing. Let him know that, hey, it was a good conversation yesterday. It was actually a fun conversation towards the end. We found some mutual ground. We found some mutual respect, I think. And for the ones that don't like the podcast, don't watch it. I mean, go somewhere, play with yourself, do something. Because I don't care if you watch it. I'm not here for the views. This isn't Dr. Quack and the House Calls. I don't need 5 million views to go and sit on my couch and play with myself and go, I'm a superstar. I don't care. I really don't. All I care about is getting my opinion out there for the ones who do enjoy this show to watch and listen to and enjoy. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. But I'll try. Like I said, I try to be a little less picky. I will still forever say fuck Quack, and I will still forever say fuck Rig, piece of shit, scum of the earth. Both of them. That's just the way it's going to be, folks. So thanks for joining me this morning. It's been a wonderful Coffee with Old School. As always, sponsored by Coffee, brought to you by Old School. I love this game. I love you all. Everybody have a wonderful day. And if you're out there in that fucking heat today, around our area, 110 degrees today, stay fucking cool, folks. Chill out. Keep hydrated. Don't stand in the direct sun if you don't have to. So I'm Old School. This has been Coffee with Old School. We've had a blast today. Old School out.